guys, welcome back to my new video. I just got back from home and I'm back in my dorm again. Today I am going to do a little decorating in my room. Voy a decorar mi cuarto de Navidad, decorating for Christmas, because you know December is around the corner now and I just want to be in the spirit. So I'm going to be taking down my pumpkins and stickers that I have and other things, and then I'm going to wrap some gifts that I have. I'm doing a donation for some kids in our community, so I'm happy to do that. And I'm wrapping a small gift for one of my friends, and yeah, so you'll be seeing that. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to put my tree right here so I can have lights. I'm either gonna put it right here or right there or on this table, but I'm gonna probably end up putting it here, and I don't know yet, so we'll see. So I finished my tree and this is how it looks. Looks weird, but I like it. Anyways, I'm going to start wrapping up gifts that I have, and so yeah. So I started to decorate. I mean, not decorate, wrap gifts, and so far I have this. And I have all of these here. So, yeah. So I just got finished done wrapping all the gifts now, and then here's the other ones near the tree. Looks funny, but yeah, nice. Hey guys, I know this is a different clip, but I'm going to do a get ready with me. I know some of you said that you guys wanted to see a bake with me video, but that video is going to be up next week. So this one is going to be a little mixture of me decorating my room and a get ready with me. So yeah, oh yeah, one thing I did forget. On next video, I'm going to have a special guest, and here you go. Now that you've seen my little special guest, let's do a get ready with me. So I'm going to do a simple makeup with you guys, and I also wanted to do like a little story time. So get your little snacks, because this one is not going to be very long. It's gonna be short. So yeah. Anyways, this is the foundation well, actually I'm going to use two foundations mixture. Well, depends what I feel, a little lighter or a little darker. So these two, the Maybelline New York Fit Me, the matte or the dually smooth. These fire alarms. Everyone was safe. One of my friends' fire alarms keeps going on and off. I love this lighting. Anyways, I'm going to be using the Murphy's palette, this one. Did they shut it off? Yeah, they did. It's really colors. I really like it. And my concealer from BH Cosmetics. Amazing. So let me wet my blenders, beauty blenders. That's what I meant. First, and then okay, I just wet my beauty blenders. This is how it looks. So let's get to our story. This is going to be a scary story. I like it. So let's start with the brows, okay, first. So there was this one day, my aunt from Mexico came here, and I was with her the entire day. It was, I don't know what day it was. One of these days. I was with her the entire day. And she would always, backstory, she would always come like for vacation. She would always come to our house and give us little gifts. And to this day, she still does. And I love her very much. About 1 year, I think 2 years ago, no, a year ago. I was with her that day, and I was very much calm. I like her house here. She made it her own style. I never felt, well, actually I did feel very scared in that house, in her house. It's like every time you go to a new house, for like a new person's house, you always feel scary, like some vibes, but it's like you're just scared because like your parents or no one's there with you, you know? Well, her house was like a very white, she's always white walls, white floors, white ceilings, everything was white. So she was like she wanted to have her house like very modern, and so that's how she made it. So maybe about to start my brows without not doing all my other things. So while she was there that day, I was with her. She had came from Mexico, and she was only staying there for like a couple days. Yes, she was only staying there for a couple days. I believe. So she was only staying there for a couple days, and I went with her to the mall. I went with her, like, it was like an aunt day, you know. She's a very cool person, and so I went with her. And when we were about to go home, because I was going to do her a favor and cut the grass, because I mean, I'm her favorite and I like to do other things for others, right? And that day she was telling me that she wanted me to cut her grass, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And she was telling me, I'll pay you and blah blah blah. I was like, no, I'm good. So then while we got to her house, I was in her house, and we had bought McDonald's, and we were eating at the table. But her house is a very quiet house, so any creaks that you hear would be like, what's that, you know? So that day, I was eating my McDonald's, because, you know, McDonald's is hella good. And she was in front of me, and like her table is like a long black table, like a 4 seatings, and she was in front, and I was like in front of her, but I was facing the outside door, and she was facing the living room. So where I was sitting, if I turn right, there's a little hallway to like the bathroom and to her bedrooms. So I was there, and I was eating, and I didn't feel anything at first. I was like, it's her house, you know, what can I do? It's a brand new house. I haven't been here for a couple months. I'm just probably freaking myself out, you know? And so I was there, but I kept feeling that someone was watching me, and I just kept eating and like didn't bother to like look around or anything like that. So then we were done eating, and we were about to go get some things for the grass, she had left already, and she was like, oh, lock the door behind you. And I was like, okay. And then while I was walking, I was like, oh, I forgot my bag. And then I had ran in my bag. I felt like I had to run, and I felt like I had to come back. Well, when I grabbed my bag, I ran to the door. It felt like I was so scared. I was like, something's in here, you know? And so I grabbed my bag, I ran to the door, and I shut it so fast because my aunt was already in her car. And so I was like locking the door, and like I just like ran. I felt like someone was like watching me.
Almow, someone fire alarm isn't working.
And so I was like, it's probably nothing, you know? I get scared for anything. You can walk by, I didn't see you, I get scared, you know? So it was that, okay? So then we went to grab the things to cut her grass, and then we got back. I started to do the cutting the grass, and she was outside for a while, and then she had went inside. And while she was inside, I was like, okay, you can go, like, you gotta do your own things, you know? So while I was cutting the grass, I kept feeling like someone was watching me. So, where her yard is huge. So while I was in the very back, I could see her house. And there's like a window, and there's a door. Because remember, I was facing the door while I was eating. I was facing the outside. So I kept looking at that door. And once I saw someone, and I was like, oh, that's my aunt. She's probably watching me, you know? Well, I kept cutting. I kept feeling like someone was watching me, and I was like, oh, it's probably my aunt, you know, but I kept that there. Well, when I was done, I put everything out, I went inside, and I was like, hey, ya terminé, I'm done. And she was like, okay. And I was like, she was like, oh, thank you very much. I can like I'll drive you back home. And I was like, okay. Well, again, I forgot my bag there, and I was grabbing my things, and she had already left. I heard noises in her room, like in that hallway, and I was like, something's in here. And I got the chills. Like, I ran for my life at that time. I ran to the door, locked it, and I was like, yeah, I'm done here. Well, a couple of days ago, then I was at my house. She had already left to Mexico, and everything was okay. And this was over the summer, okay? Just to let you know. I was in my room one night, and I was watching a show on my laptop, like a normal kid, you know. And I was watching my show, and all of a sudden, I turn around and I see a black shadow slide over. Huge. It was two. Nice. Like, I saw it with my own eyes, and I was like, wait, what did I just see? And at first I was like, I didn't see anything. It's whatever. But I knew behind my back, like behind my atrás, in my mind, I knew what I saw. And I kept it for myself, okay? So I kept it to myself. I didn't want to tell my mom. I didn't tell my mom until like a couple weeks later, when it got worse. Everything was going okay. I kept seeing the things, and that's when I told my mom. I kept seeing it, and I was like, because we got on the topic, because my family is like a really, you can say not so religious, but religious person. And my mom was there, and we were talking about ghosts and the encounters and things like that. And I was telling my mom that I saw two black shadows, and she was telling me, oh, were they small? And I was like, yeah, it was like they were small, like kids. And she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, yes, but I've been seeing them for a couple of days now, since I went to Tia's house. And she was like, oh, okay. And so she was like, okay, well, next time you see them, tell them to leave you alone and you don't want to contact them. And I was like, well, they're not bad energies, because if they're bad energies, they would try to scare me, but I wasn't scared. It was like a very calming shadow, like spirit or a soul that was near you. So I was like, they're not bad. It was like when you know someone is like have good vibes, you're like, oh, they're a good person. Or when you find out someone that's not so great, and you're like, I want to stay away from them. Well, that was me. I felt like it was comforting. So I was like that. And then I told my mom, and my mom was telling me, well, next time you see them, tell them to leave you alone, that you don't want to be with them or anything like that. And I was like, okay. Well, I kept seeing them, and I kept telling them, leave me alone, Please leave me alone. I don't want to contact you or anything like that. This is when I started. No, well, this is when my mom and my parents and my sisters started to hear. Well, there was one night that we had heard the bathroom door open and shut. And like when I heard that, I was so surprised. I was like, this is like a movie. Like, this is a movie, you know? Because like I've seen it in the movies and I was like, it's impossible, you know? And so it's like my first experience in paranormal. So I was like, amazing. But it wasn't like I'm scared, you know? Well, actually, the first time I was actually scared. But I feel like, I think it was because of like you were scared because you've never experienced this. So like it was something new. So when that happened, I told my parents the next morning. I was like, oh, so I heard the door close and open. And she was like, oh, that's interesting. That's new. And I was like, yes, Mom. And so then during the day, we started to hear the door open and close. We would be watching TV and the door of the bathroom we could hear like the door open and shut. And I would be like, oh, el fantasma quiere hablar con nosotros. Like, the ghost is playing with us. And my mom would like scream, like, leave us alone. Like, leave us alone, you know? And I was like, I find it funny, but then again, they didn't want to leave us. And so it was like that for a couple months, okay? And I felt like I got to a point that I was very used to it, but we were going through family problems. And I started to find out that I started to do a little research because I'm so into like I said, paranormal. So I'm like, I will research anything and like it'll tell us. And so one of the things said that it stays there because of the bad energy. If there's fights, is there arguments, and they like, and fear, like it holds power because you're scared. And I was like, well, I'm not feeling any scared, but my little sister started to get scared. And so I was like, it's nothing, it's fine. And it kept like that. So then my mom did a cleaning around the entire house and we were all good. Like, it stopped, and I felt like it was like something we needed. And since then, we were all good. Then after a couple months, well, during that time, we had called my aunt. We were like, your house is there's something in your house that has a bad energy. And my aunt was like, oh, what do you mean? And she told her what I had heard, and she was like, no, that's probably creaks or anything like that. And she was like, no, because she's been hearing them here, she's been seeing them here, so it's been coming from your house. And so she was like, okay, I'm going to a brujerio, a wizard, that's what you call them. And so I'm gonna find out what's going on. And well, they had found out that there was something going on between them. Another story to tell. But then after that, my mom was like, well, you need to get your house cleaned, and I'm not going to put a foot in there. This is why. one of the times when we were going, because we go and check her house once a month. And while that time, our house we were having activity. And so we went to her house, and her door was unlocked. And her house should be locked, every house should be locked. So we went in there, and when I found out that the door was unlocked, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, the door is unlocked. What are we gonna do? She was like, oh, well, I don't know, like, someone had said that the door is unlocked, and they had locked it from the back. And we were so confused because it seems like someone was in there purposely, but a human being was not in there. And so it was like that, and my mom went inside, and she felt the creeps. She knew right there and then that a bad energy was in there. She was with me, and she was like, she had her flash, but her flash wasn't like so bright, so I was using my flash, and she was like, flash it over here, Valentina, flash it over here. And I was like, okay. And then when we were going out, she was like, hay algo ahí adentro, there's something inside. And I was like, I'm telling you, like, I knew something was in there. She was like, yeah, and it's not a good energy. And since then, my mom was like, we're not going in there until you know what's in your house, so I can clean my own house. And so later, my aunt called her, and she was like, well, it's clean, you can go in there again. And my mom was like, no, she could be outside in the car, she's in that house, like in front of that house, and she's like, no, your house is not clean, I can still feel it. And that's when we stopped going to her house, and I stopped going to her house. And right now she's running it, she hasn't came. And so at the end, like I said, my house was cleaned. It's gonna be a mini story time, becomes a whole 30 minutes. Sorry. I hope you liked it though. That's that. Am I doing it wrong? Let's do a little of eyeshadows. So I have these. I like brown colors. I've been liking brown colors lately. They're so pigmented. One thing I like it, but again, I'm just like, that's a lot. can't wait to go home. I get to go home in like a week. So excited. Watching and who's been watching me now, if you're still watching, put comment an H to see how many people are still watching. I'm so invested. So comment the H to do some powder. So finals isn't like in a week and I'm all good for now on my projects. Didn't think finals was ever gonna come to now. And so now I'm good to go. Gonna let this sit. Going to do these lashes. I really like them. Got them for Christmas last year. Amazing. Oh, I got a lot of lashes last year. And thank you by my cousin. Love them more. If you're watching this. I need to find a new mascara. Right now I'm using Mary Kay's. That stuff's pretty good. But I need to find new ones. So comment down below a good mascara. I want to know that. A good mascara. We're done. I'm still using that. If you don't use Kiss as a lash thing, lash roll. I don't know what you're missing out. I've used Duo and honestly it was not my favorite. Brush. It's a lot of powder. One more time. Concealer. Sometimes it depends on which brush I use. The concealer will be good. Sometimes it's a little too much. Let's see. Doing a little black underneath my eye. Oh no. Actually, it's not eyes. Look at this. Little blue, brown. setting spray from e.l.f. And that is it. That's how I do my makeup. It needs to dry a little more. This is the final look. Thank you for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.